Hey everybody, Jon Kovach here, posting a comment in the chat section. Awesome. We're going live here. Hey everybody, my name is Jon Kovach Jr., president of Amplified Minds, founder of the Champion Circle, and here to provide some resources and some solutions for you in times of crisis and in times of need. I'm here at the whiteboard. I've got the whiteboard and the markers ready. Actually, check this out. I've got quite a few colors for all you colorblind people out there to do some brainstorming. But I wanted to use this live hour to provide you solutions. You see, the solutions you need right now for some of the things that you're struggling with in this time of need. I wanted to brainstorm some ideas for you. Some of you might go as far to call this a mastermind, but I want you to know that there are solutions for you to get paid today. And there are 3 areas to get paid that I wanted to cover so that you could have immediate solutions. Now, if you're looking to get involved in and converse with me during this live stream, I highly encourage you to do so. If so, just post below in the comment section, just say pick me and I'll send you a quick link. I would love to interview and talk to some of you online here during this live stream so that you could come on and we could teach other people about some of the resources that are available to them so that they can achieve their goals, or that they can make some money, or that they can do all of the things they need right now during unemployment. The first thing I wanted to talk about, and this is a topic that we cover a lot, okay? We talk about this a lot. But you see, oh wait, I got to switch arms. You see above my head here, social selling, social connecting is one way in your life right now that you could get paid. You see, you have every resource in the world, and I'm going to move over just slightly here. Okay, cool. I didn't plan that one out well. I'm going to shift over here. Perfect. Okay. So that's a good point. Boom, boom, boom. Awesome. Okay. So to get started, there are 3 areas that I'd like to cover to teach you how to get paid today. Okay. And it all starts with who you know, right? Who do you know? Who do you know right now that's thriving? Who do you know in your life that can help you out? The first place you need to always go to is your personal network, your first degree network if you are members of LinkedIn and you're familiar with that strategy. But who do you know? Okay, and it's not like you go and you beg. It's not like you go and you ask, but it's about who you know and what strategic ways you can work with those people to get what you need to get paid. Okay, so we teach in the Champion Circle and through Amplified Minds that your social connections need to be your most profitable partnerships. Let me repeat that. Your social connections must be your most profitable connections, because you have no idea the skills and talents that your network has. You have no idea what they have capabilities of. You are underestimating the value of the people who you know by not asking or working with or connecting with people who you know. So start thinking about social connecting. I know we're in social distancing right now and we cannot touch people, but you know what you can do is you can pick up that phone, you can dial a bunch of people, you can Facebook message them, you can Skype with anyone, you can Marco Polo with anyone, you can use Voxer with anyone. There are so many things that you can do right now to improve your life and your lifestyle. And the way you do that is you reach out to people, okay? You reach out to them and you start building relationships. I've got my markers here. I'm going to talk a little bit about what it takes, okay? What it takes to actually start to get paid through social connecting. So the more that you socially connect, right? Social connection, boom, boom. Social connection. What you need to do is you need to ask them what they need help with, okay? What do they need help with? And they're going to let you know, well, I'm fine, I'm good, but maybe you dig a little bit deeper, right? You need to be able to ask people what it is that you can help them with. And that's where you need to understand a little bit about yourself. In topic 2 that we'll get to later, what are your skills and talents, right? Where do you have the ability to help other people? So that's a really, really important principle when it comes to getting paid, because you've got to understand and know what you're good at, what you can do, what you can offer for people. But sometimes you don't have to be an absolute expert at wiping down counter tables or taking out the trash or mowing someone's lawn or anything in that regard or that matter, right? You don't even have to come within 10 feet distance to these people to help them out. Okay. There are things that their businesses, their lives, their social work, their anything that they have going on in their life that you can provide and that you can help. So there you go. That's one part to social connecting is ask them what they need help with. Okay. But I would also do something called observing. Okay. Knowing what your talents are, knowing what your strengths are, know what you have a keen eye for. Go to some of these people, okay? I'm talking about some of the biggest people the biggest players in your network. Some of the people who you might know as the wealthiest or the ones who have the most success, or maybe people who have not been affected or influenced by COVID-19. What you want to do is you want to be able to ask these people what they need help with, but first know in mind what they might already need help with. Right. So maybe you go to their Facebook profile or their LinkedIn profile and you see that they've been posting a lot of jobs. There might be a job available to you. And if that job isn't the one you're looking for, maybe you say, hey, I know a few people. I'd love to connect you with some great people. And then you start connecting for them. And that allows you the opportunity to really be a valuable key player for those people. Okay, I would observe before I ask for help or go to them and see what they can use help with, because that will give you a faster, more structured lead to work with these people. So that's one step you could do right now to get into a position of getting paid during this time of crisis. Okay. One last thought I wanted to share with you about social connecting is that you have that device, you have your phone, you have your ability to connect with people. I would start messaging, right? Messaging, and I'm going to put this, messaging with love, okay? The heart there isn't like romantic love, but it's message with love, message with care. When you lead with love, you will absolutely connect with people on a better way. Don't you dare. And don't ever hear this from me. I will never say this. Don't you ever take a planned out script and blast it to 100 million people, right? You do never want to do that. There's a difference between social media marketing and connecting with people who subscribe to you. And I've learned this lesson time and time again. I end up losing a lot of connections when I send out marketing campaigns, but when they've signed up, not everyone's going to be the biggest fan, right? But don't ever take one script, copy and paste into a bunch of messages and send it out to other people. Those days are long gone. If you grew up in the 90s or you were alive during the 90s, you know that a lot of people like to send forwards, right? And there was a big, and I think it's still relevant now because a lot of the boomers are still alive, but what happens is when a lot of people are constantly and consistently posting just reforwards or copy and paste, you get this tag and share mentality of people, and it just doesn't come across as real. Okay, so message with love. I'm talking about leading with love, and I'm going to write that in parentheses here. So lead with, you like that squeak, right? Lead with love. When you lead with love, you are connecting with people on a very, very personal level, whether it's via LinkedIn, whether it's via Facebook, Instagram, or any other social media platform, or just on your device, right? You just want to make sure that you can connect with people at a better way. And I'm going to make sure that I'm continuing to be in focus for this. I got 2 cameras going on, so it's pretty awesome. Okay, so that's how you socially connect. When you connect with people, make sure you let them know where you're at in life. Hey, due to COVID-19 or due to unfortunate circumstances, I was let go. I do no longer have a job. I'm going to need to pay some bills to cover my things. I'm looking for work. Don't ever say, can I have money? Okay. No one is just willing to give it to you unless you ask the right people, but still. Let's talk about longevity. Let's talk about increasing and creating long-term relationships with people as a result of our request, right? So you need to go in with the idea in mind that there is more to come out of this than just you getting paid. This is you building or developing a relationship. Okay. So there's the biggest thing I wanted to say about this particular social factor. And what I also want to say is the next step you want to keep in mind And I have two types of erasers here, so we can get an even deeper erase. Look at that. That was satisfying. Okay. So the next piece I want you to think about is, what skills and talents do you have? What skills and talents do you have that you can offer that are extremely beneficial to people? Okay. Start thinking about, what am I good at? I'm good at writing. I'm good at speaking. I'm good at creative thinking and brainstorming. I'm really good at developing relationships. Those are kinds of ambiguous skills that I need to hone in on, and that I can tell people how I can help them with. So you see how this is working? See how this is all coming together? When I go to somebody and I say, hey, Bill, my friend Bill owns a couple companies, is probably in a good spot, is not going to suffer during this crisis, during lockdown. What do I need to do? I go to Bill and say, hey, Bill, I'm sure there's some things that you've had to really tighten down on because of all this. I want you to know that I'm really good at writing this, this, and this. Would you be interested in if I could write professional emails to keep updated with your clients and your company employees, so that they know and are well kept in touch with during this time of crisis? Now, I would be able to do that, right? I'd be able to go in and share with him my skills and say, hey, is there something that I can do to help you and serve you? And I'm just guessing that because he owns a few companies, he has a bunch of employees, they're probably working from home, and now I need to offer something that I have a skill set at to give that person some advice or some opportunities to improve their current situation. That's how you serve people. Okay. What are some other skills or talents that you might have that you're not sharing? Well, right now, I'm finding, and I'm very, very surprised, and maybe I'm just not connected with that community online, and so I'm not seeing it, but I have noticed that all of the celebrities and all of the singers and songwriters and makers out in the world have disappeared. Everyone has disappeared. I am not seeing a single celebrity songwriter or a celebrity singer use their talents of singing right now for free to help people during this time of crisis. And they're not raising money. They're not doing anything else. I have a friend, shout out to a guy named Dan Barton, Barton Brothers piano group. They're out in Fort Collins, Colorado, but right now they are raising money and funds while playing every evening a series of requests to people, and they're using those funds for good. They're also supporting themselves and doing really, really great things. And it's so cool. It's so cool to watch. But some of these high-end people, the celebrities of the world, where'd they go? What happened to them? Why aren't they using their skills and talents? And when I was going down the road of talking about this was, when you have a talent and a need from somebody else, right? It's important that you share that with other people. It's important that you share that. Music is the one thing that calms the soul. It calms the mind. It helps a ton of people. Well, where are they? Where are those people today? Why aren't they going live? Why aren't they singing? Why aren't they sharing their talents? I call it out right now. And maybe I'm just not on the right channels, but music is one thing, okay? Art is another thing. How about artistic minded people who are able to do things that are a little bit more creative, like cartoon creation or graphic design, or even some sort of aesthetic design. Okay, people who are able to share their talents and resources. Now is a beautiful time to be able to share that with people who could use it. Okay, as people struggle, I just taught. I was just having a conversation with one of my friends in the real estate industry, and they were saying, I sure hope the lockdown doesn't happen, because how on earth am I going to sell homes? How on earth am I going to sell homes when I can't get people out and into homes? That's a big issue, right? Our housing market is going to crash if people can't buy and sell homes during this lockdown. So what is a thought that you can go in and help people in the housing market right now? A thought that I had was, if you have skills and talents in any of the creative areas, now is a great time to go to those real estate agents or those brokers or those commercial real estate people. And now is a really good time to offer services, virtual tours. Get that phone out, get your cameras out, and go out and start doing virtual tours. Start volunteering to go to the site, to be there and to hook up with people so that they can see the insides of locations. Okay. Now, there was an argument earlier this week by a friend of mine, and I won't say their name, but they were like, I'm an at-risk individual for COVID-19. And I told them, it doesn't matter if you're at risk or not. And I wanted to be very, very blatant in letting them know that I was cognizant, I was aware of the surroundings, but you do not actually have to do these things and leave your house. You can still do things from the comfort of your home. Now, filming and getting out and doing virtual tours, that's not it. But there are still creative things that you can do with the skills and talents that you have to help people during this time. And here's the bottom line, everybody. The bottom line is people need help right now. And everyone's thinking, if you're poor, if you don't have enough money, if you got let go from your job, they're the ones that need help, but you're wrong, okay? Everybody, there we go, there's a blue. Everybody needs help right now. Everybody needs help right now, whether they think they do or they don't. And the thing is when you go out asking for help, to help, they often respond with help. People love to help other people. Service giving and providing opportunities for people is something people love to do. So don't be afraid to ask for help and go to and propose help to people. That is a huge, huge, huge place in the market right now. So again, don't be afraid to go there. Don't be afraid to provide value to people. Okay. So the first thing we talked about was social connecting. I'm going to say number 1, social connecting. Okay. Bringing it online. Here we go. Social connecting. Check this out. There's my YouTube. Right. So social connecting was number 1. Again, reviewing social connecting is reach out to people in your network. Go through your actual phone contacts and start reaching out to people. Send messages. This is a time where cell phone rates and text rates should skyrocket because we're all communicating. And guess what? If you don't want to pay for that, if you don't want to pay the excess and the increase in bills that come from increased text messages, move to an app. Okay. Facebook messaging, as long as you're not spamming, you can send as many messages as you want. If you're in LinkedIn, as long as you're not spamming people, send as many messages as you want. Typically, LinkedIn only allows you to send about 50 a day without it flagging your thing. But what other profiles can you do? WhatsApp, unlimited, right? Remind, unlimited. A bunch of other platforms like that you can use unlimited. Your contacts are connected to your Gmail. You can go to your Gmail, download all your contacts, and you can plug them into Skype, and you can send messages to people there. There are so many different ways to connect with people today. There is absolute no excuse. And as I'm saying this, I'm like, holy cow, there's so many people that I didn't reach out to. Well, we've launched three, I got 6 up right now. As we've launched 3 new ventures in the last 2 weeks because of all this, I haven't reached out to everybody. I haven't taken full advantage of my network. So social connecting, number 1. Number 2, again, in review, number 2 is skills and talents. Oops. Talents has 1 L, everybody. I told you that I am really good at spelling. Okay. So skills and talents, super important. Just know that you can use your skills and talents at any time to extend help to people and to ask for help. But I would oftentimes help yourself by offering to help others. It is a very, very incredible, valuable tool in getting you paid, right? In getting you paid today. Because the more I start thinking about what other skills do I have? Okay, so let's go back to some examples. What other skills do I currently have that I can leverage and offer help to people who need help? Some really, really important skills. I mentioned videography, creative design, editing, and so forth. But you know what I'm really good at? And I'll give 2 examples, okay? Because there's the people who are at risk, who can't leave their homes, and there are the people who aren't at risk, but are okay with delivery and stuff like that. So one of the things is I'm a man. I work out. I'm fairly strong, so I can lift things. Now is a great time to reach out to some of my friends who are in harder labor and maybe have lost people due to this, and know that they probably have to move things around in their warehouses or in their shipment yards and so forth. I can go and offer my physical strength to move things, to hold things, to pick things up, to do services, to do deliveries, to do all kinds of things for them. And you know what? I know that there's other services that already coordinate those, but think about the relationships, the longevity of your relationships that you're building with people. I'm going to reach out to my millionaire friend Bill and say, hey, Bill, are you guys cooped up inside? You guys probably have everything you need, but I just wanted you to know that I lost my job and I'm looking for some work. I'd be more than happy to pick up your groceries for you. Is that something that I can help you with? And Bill's going to be like, holy cow, yeah, let's do that. Obviously, wear gloves, don't cough on my stuff, and leave it on the doorstep, and we'll pay you Venmo. Okay, like stuff like that. Like that's what we're talking about. Those are some solutions that will allow you to do that. Okay, that's for the people who aren't at risk, right? Everyone's at risk, but there's some higher people at risk, like people who have had transplants, who are ill, people who have had illnesses before, people who currently have it. There's some stuff like that. So that's what I would focus on. But the people who can't leave their home, okay, I'm going to call my millionaire friend Bill. I say, hey, Bill, I have friends that I could coordinate some labor for you while in this time of need. Is there anything that I can help you with, right? But remember, back to social connecting, do your research, right? Do your research first before you ask, can I help you? Offer something to help with. Whenever I ask people, hey, is there anything I can help you with? I never get a yes. I hardly ever get a yes. But when I ask somebody, hey, I noticed that you need help with this, I have the skill set that helps with that. Can I help you with that? Most people say yes. Most people do. So that's why you want to observe first before you move into it. Okay. So there you go. Social skills and talents. You want to make sure you can share those with other people. Maybe another idea or concept. Like I said, I'm just kind of letting the brain and the wheels turn in the brain right now. And again, if you're just jumping into this and watching, post me, pick me below, and we'll bring you on the screen, and we can talk about some of the things you're concerned about or some of the things you want to talk about in regards to getting paid today. But I want you to know that it all starts here with your connections, with your valuable connections. Now, a lot of you, maybe this is not relevant because your connections are just in the same spot as you. We'll get there. We'll talk about that. Hold on tight. We're going to get to that topic. Okay. But your skills and talents, the things that you can do from within your home, remember what skills and talents you have. Maybe you have an eye of aestheticism. Maybe you have the artistic gift. Maybe you have some things that you're really, really good at. Look, what can you do at home better than anyone else? Most of you say, I can sit and watch TV, but I can tell you there are other people who can do that better than you. But there are other things that you can do, right? There are other things that you can create. Do you sew? Okay. There was a huge demand for masks because a lot of hospitals are running out of materials and they can't order them fast enough, right? And so the need for masks has dramatically gone up. Now, I'm not saying go sew a bunch of masks and then price gouge people. What I'm saying, definitely know what your skill sets are. And you don't have to be an absolute expert at it. You can just be good at it. Okay. As long as you are good at something, you can provide value and help other people. So as you sit in your home, you're like, well, what can I do? I might be able to sew. I might be able to write things to people. I might be able to mail things off to people. I might be able to correct documents or scan things or use my eyes, use my mouth, use my ears to help people with things. I can transcribe things. I can do all kinds of things from the comfort of my home with the basic skills that everyone has in English, the English language, with some of the technologies. Look, you don't even have to be an expert, but there are expert apps out there that will do half the work for you. If you're willing to buy or pick up a subscription-based app and do services for people because it interests you, that's another thing. A lot of my virtual assistants in the Philippines, a lot of them can do their work from their phone because a lot of them are picking up their phones. They're doing some video edits that are submitted to them, and then they're submitting them to the various platforms that they are currently client managers over. And so it's brilliant because a lot of the Filipinos that I work with, they currently can't go to the office because everyone's in lockdown. And a lot of them don't even have the ability, but my VAs can work from home. They can sit with their chargers plugged into their phone and they can do exactly what they need to just from their phone. And they still get paid. How cool is that, right? So just know that you can do the same thing as some of these Filipinos all over the world, right? So you can do anything from your home. Just get creative and think about the things you're interested in, your skills and your talents. Okay, I'm going to move on from this because this we could talk about this for hours, but I wanted to give you the basis of 3 products, okay? 3 solutions to help you get paid today. And for those of my friends who are willing to go outside and do physical labor versus my friends who are not willing to go outside and are at risk and would rather stay home. Okay, so there's a lot of options for everybody. Moving on, the third principle I've written down here is market needs now. What does your market, the market around you, or just the market in general need right now? Right now, there's a bunch of controversy on Amazon.com because people went and they were like, oh, the world needs toilet paper, cleaning products, and hand sanitizer. So they went and bought a bunch of stock, and now they're shipping it off to people, but they've been price gouging, which means they've been Forexing the prices and trying to rip people off. But I want you to just take notice. What do people need right now? Not only do people need those essential products, but what are people buying? What do they need in times of comfort? Some things that keep the immune system up, activities, pieces of equipment, things that people are interested in thinking about right now that have to do with health, right? Anything from selling exercise equipment or small pieces of information, maybe health books, things that people are looking to improve their health with. I'm going to erase this because it is distracting me. It's probably distracting you as well. Okay. So I wanted to continue to talk about what the market needs now. Start to observe what the market needs right this minute. And that doesn't mean, we all go Gary V on each other. And I'm actually going to share this number 3. What does the market need right now? Boom. Okay. Now that that's posted. Okay. What does the market need right now? Observe. Okay. Start watching. Think about what people need right now. Read some articles. What are people in absolute need right now? A lot of people are in need of helping other people find jobs. Like I'm doing right on this video, I could turn this video into a way to get jobs. I can turn this video into a few things to educate people and teach people about where they can go, what they can do right now to find a job. And then I can guide them along through that. I can offer consulting. I can offer training. I can offer education. Lucky for all of this, though, this is all free, right? This is the opportunity I've suggested to give to you information about how to get paid today during this time of crisis, right? This is our live brainstorming hour. I wanted to share these details and these thoughts for you. Have I tried all of these? Absolutely. There are things that currently I'm doing right now. During this time of crisis, my wife and I have been thinking, what do we do next? Like there's so many opportunities. What can we do? Now, you don't want to get overwhelmed, but there's so many things that we've launched instead of dialed back on during this time because we see so much great opportunity for us to maintain in a great place in the event of actual crisis. So I wanted to continue to focus on that as we share more and more information. So we talked about social connection and then the skills and talents that you need. The next part is, what does the market need right now? Just start to think, what does the market need right now? A lot of people, they need toilet paper. They need stuff, but I don't want to get into that because it's controversial right now. What I do want to talk about is, what else do people need? What does the market need right now? I'm seeing a lot of people needing ways to generate income, right? What do people need right now? People need to generate income. So what do? I offer ways to generate income. I have a ton of connections, a ton of job opportunities, a ton of sales positions that are commission-based that you can go and sell right now. Okay. What other things do people need to be able to do? And they need to do them from home, right? Because we're all getting in lockdown. So start to observe what other things in the market do people need. If you're watching this and you have any ideas or suggestions, feel free to comment, because I can see live stream comments during this streaming. Okay. So if you have any thoughts, ideas, or questions, post it in the comment section below. Okay, so now we're getting into this a little bit deeper. We're 30 minutes into this conversation. What does the market need right now? Probably not too many things automotive related, because travel is not the most safe and most ideal for this situation. So kind of a process by elimination. But I mentioned my friend earlier who's in the real estate business. And in the real estate business, they're in huge crisis right now, because how are they going to sell homes if no one can leave their home? How can they sell homes if nobody is able to go and, check out the home, smell the home, feel the home, and stuff like that? So what does the real estate market need right now? Well, they probably need people to do a lot of documents work. They probably need a lot of people to go to sites, to be willing to let people in. There's so many things that you can do just to help one industry, right? The real estate market is in huge need right now, because if everyone's on lockdown, how are they going to sell homes? And better yet, what could you do for them? I'll tell you what, I'm really good at taking photos. I'm not the best photographer, but I can pull out my phone or pull out my camera and I can take a lot of photos. And I'm willing to go outside to get my exercise. So if I walk a few blocks and take photos of homes and send them to people, I can do that. And that is a huge need right now for a lot of brokers and a lot of real estate agents, especially if you need to go out and task, right? So there's some ideas that people can use right now. What other industries need your help right now? What does the market demand for? There are some incredible markets where people are looking for leads, and because everyone has their eyes on the internet and online and social right now, it is so washed out that it's very difficult to get seen above somebody else, especially if you offer the same thing. So what are you able to do? Affiliate marketing, dudes. If you jump right in and start introducing people to other markets, other products, and other services, all of a sudden you now have an open line, an open stream of opportunity to come from your connections and start offering those to people. It's not to get a sale, it's to offer what the market is asking for right now. Right now, there is a huge influx and increase of health-related products, both mindset and blood and respiratory and so forth. And because of that, essential oils, CBD, a bunch of these really alternative medicines and alternative things have become incredible solutions. So look into that. Look into opportunities to get into stuff that help boost immune systems and boost mental health, because most people need to calm down right now. So there's a few other ideas. What other ideas in the market are needed right now? What does the market need right now? I would start thinking about, what are people doing at home to stay fit, to stay healthy? Yoga mats. People are doing yoga mats. Exercise equipment, dumbbells and little chairs and pull-up bars and things like that. Those are all things that either you can find and deliver to people, buy and sell, or become a seller for, right? Start to think about the longevity of your life and your business. Now, one of my neighbors, and I won't mention their names either, but I heard that the resorts, because we live in a resort town, the resorts shut down, so they lost their jobs. And I approached them and I said, congratulations, what's next? And they thought I was crazy. They said, why are you celebrating this? This is not good. And I said, no, you've got the wrong mindset. You've been doing this job that you've been complaining about for years already. Now you have a chance to do whatever you want, with the opportunity to do whatever you want in a small time frame and transition and pivot your life. What are you going to do? And that led to them going down a line of whiteboard discussions and some chats, thinking, what could we do? What could we do? Going back to, who do we know? What are our skills and talents? And then what does the market need? It was the exact same system that I just introduced to my neighbors, and they got to thinking, and now they're working on some online stuff. So pretty cool, right? Immediate solutions for people in the market today. but they started thinking, oh, we're really good at consulting. So they joined a consulting firm online where they're doing consulting sales. Really cool, right? That was all it was. And then now they don't have to leave the comfort of the home. They can walk their dogs when they want. They can kind of have a better living lifestyle than they did before, when they had to drive to work and work at the resorts and get told what to do from a boss who was telling them what to do based on what the visitors and what the patrons of the hotel and the resort were asking for, right? So a total change and shift in direction. It's so cool. So I'm obviously fired up. I'm obviously passionate about this stuff, but I know it works. I know it works because I've done it. I've seen it. We're doing it. We're practicing it. We're putting it in motion. So let me ask you this. What other things does the market need right now? What does the market need right now that you can respond to with your skills and talents, and that you can connect to through your social connections, right? Super, super cool ideas. Incredible opportunities. Okay, I'm not seeing any live streamed comments, and so I'm going to move into maybe just like one or two more principles and stories, and we'll finish up here. But as the market is in demand for things, get creative. Start thinking about, what can I do? Right now, I'm seeing a huge demand online for people to figure out what they can do to make money. And I would highly recommend resources like Gary Vaynerchuk and Grant Cardone and several other people, but they've got their own systems and platforms to make that successful. And you can follow their advice. You can do what they suggest, but I want you to know that it's all relative. You need to decide, and you need to identify who you know, the skills and talents that you possess that you can share with other people to offer help to them in times of need and help. And then also asking yourself, what does the market need right now? I could bang this nail in as hard as we can and continue to beat the dead horse, but you guys, it's so valuable, and it is so true. A story about this is, it goes back to my story and how I found a job that I absolutely loved. And that had to do with what I was doing currently in the market to give people more solutions. You see, I was fed up with the way networking was measured as a standard for newbies in the professional market. I graduated from college and I went to my first organizational networking group, and I was just fed up. I was like, how on earth can we measure this as a standard of success when you get a bunch of people who don't trust each other in a room, who aren't qualified to give each other referrals and advice and to share with each other those things? I didn't like that. So we got to thinking about private groups and small social circles where people actually delve deep into building those relationships. And then we would talk more about how we can overcome our challenges and provide value to the world. And the more that we did that, the more we found solutions, the more that we helped each other and shared resources, the more that we were able to overcome any circumstance. We had one guy who was in the real estate market, actually the building side of real estate, and they said that they needed to raise $20,000 in 2 weeks. Otherwise, they were going to have to let go an opportunity. Well, they didn't just raise $20,000 in 2 weeks. They raised $40,000 in 1 week just by social connecting, by reaching out to their market and asking people if they knew anyone. And those were trusted relationships versus just asking for referrals. Okay. And then the next one was that they used some skills. They went around and they talked to people about some of the investment opportunities that came from what they were doing in their world. And that led to a raised funding of $40,000 in just 1 week. And then they asked what the market needed right now. They went to people who didn't have a particular place for an excess stack of cash, and they were looking for things to do. So they went to the market and say, hey, markets, let's call market Marcus. Okay. Marcus or Mary in my market. I knew that they had some cash lying around because they're fairly wealthy, and wealthy people don't always know what to do with that money. But I wanted to give them an investment opportunity where they could help us build a couple residential sites, and then they would get the return on the purchase of the property. And what a really cool solution to what the market needed at that moment. So there's a really great example of what someone did in one of our private mastermind groups most recently. Okay. And that happens all the time when you follow these steps. I keep using this right arm. When you follow these steps, social connecting, using the skills and talents to offer help to those who are in need, and then also just know what the market needs right now. Okay. So there's some ideas. There's some suggestions for everybody. I want you to know that this is a great time to thrive. This is an awesome time to thrive and to provide solutions in your life. If you're not thriving, there's something wrong. You need to be able to dig deep. Now, I want to open up with an invitation. If you do not have the people in your life that you can do these with, I want you to reevaluate. How do I improve the social connecting in my life? What's my strategy in helping and helping myself grow my network? How do my friends become my relationships? How do my relationships become my most profitable assets? That's what we believe here at Amplified Minds. That's what we teach in our champion circle. And so right now, what I would suggest to you is if you do not have those in your life, if you don't have those things going for you, it's about time that you reached into markets that have them and that you could pay a little bit to be inside one of those circles. The champion circle is one of those. Amplified Minds has a bunch of those circles, various events that we host and now are now moving to online. You can still build those types of relationships. Here's another untapped resource that Facebook is excited about and wants you to delve deeper into. Facebook groups are free and you can make as many as you want. And when you start building communities around you with the same similar interests, you can have solutions in the market. For example, a couple of years ago in our business, we realized that we needed to have a podcast. And so in order to build a podcast, I did a lot of research. I did a lot of practice. I did a lot of things that were going to create a podcast for our company. And as I learned how to build a podcast, I started asking more questions. How does this monetize? How do we create more content? How do we get more media going? And as we built that stuff, I came to learn some new skills and assets. So just the other day, I went on to one of those podcast groups, and someone's speeding by our office here. As we went to one of those podcast groups on Facebook, I just said, hey, look, I know people are struggling right now. And a thought I had is I know how to help people build podcasts. And then I know how to help them get those podcasts getting paid. And I can turn that into an average of about like $50 to $100 a month per podcast. And so I can help you build a podcast, build a community around that podcast, and then help you get paid from those podcasts. And it blew up. And now I'm like booked for the next week because I can't attend to everybody who needs help with building their podcast. And I just charge a small fee or help them. And it's what here I go again. It's what the connecting social group that I had needed. I had skills and talents that I could offer. And so I offered to help at a minimal price, right? Not hurting anyone. It's mandatory right now that I offer help and get paid for it, right? And then what the market needed. Well, I knew that people are all looking for ways to build podcasts. And I think that that's going to be an incredible way to increase their content creation. So all of this, long story short, we're in a really good market. So that was one skill, one thing that I could do that any of you can do, right? Competition breeds opportunity. So any of you can take any of these ideas and run with them. I'm totally okay with that. Please do. And then tag me with it so I can try to beat you and you can beat me and we can raise millions of dollars together. Okay. I would absolutely love that. So if you're struggling right now, it's no one's fault but yours. And I hate saying that because that hurts. That really does hurt. I know friends who are in the medical industry that they've tightened down on who they'll let in, and now people are on hold and people have lost their jobs. I get that. Okay. But you should be thriving. And now is an incredible time to thrive. I'm super excited about this time. I am scared for a lot of people. In fact, I will share personally, several members of my connected and immediate family are affected by what's going around right now. And it is an alarming time. And it's unfortunate that there are very, very few solutions to overcoming the challenge that we have, that is COVID-19, aka coronavirus. But I want you guys to know that I'm optimistic, and I'm cautiously optimistic for our future. And I want to share with you that I know that when all of this is over, we will not go back to a normal way of living. We will not go back to the way things were. I promise you that. And I know that because these things don't just influence a couple weeks of lockdown and social distancing. These things have a long-term effect on the entire world. So expect to go into a completely different world. And if you're going to sit and wait it out, things aren't going to be the same, and you're going to be frustrated, and you're probably going to be in a worse off position than you were when you started this. I want you to prepare for a brighter, more prosperous future. And the way that you do that is you reach out and delve deeper into your committed relationships. Turn your social connections into strategic relationships, partnerships, idea creators, people who provide value to one another. Also, delve deeper into your skills and your talents. Start developing those. And then the last thing I'll share is that you need to create things that are offers to help what the market needs right now. What the market needs right now is what you should be focused on. So start thinking about creative things to do that. And I say this with love, and I say this with absolute compassion towards my friends who have lost their jobs, to people who are looking for more opportunities, and for those people who are willing to capitalize, people who are willing to take action now. Okay, so all of this has been an incredible hour. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, post them in the comment section below. We'll be addressing those. But this live hour has been commenced. And one last thing I wanted to share is that next week at 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, every day we will start a live hour to talk about various topics. Now, I don't have those topics right in front of me, but some of the topics we've decided to commence in are sales and mindset. We've wanted to talk about tools and resources to cover. Here we go again, to cover all three areas of these concerns, and then we also want to cover talents and skills in connecting and developing relationships into profits. And then some of the other things is just general live hours to talk about other things, to give you the opportunity to meet great people. Yes, I will be bringing guests onto these shows. Yes, we will be talking about some pretty in-depth opportunities to give you. Will these be immediate solutions? If you take action, yes. Okay, so we're providing opportunities and solutions. This is one way that I'm adjusting so that I can provide more value to you. So just be aware that all of this is for me to help you. I know what I've been observing, and I've been watching what the market needs and demands, and I'm following my own advice. And I hope that you will as well, and that we'll be in this really great space of creating a more prosperous nation and world. So there's some of my advice for you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you all for joining me on this hour. As you're watching the replay of this, take the time to comment and ask questions. Now is a prosperous time to thrive wherever you're at. So with that, my name's Jon Kovach Jr. signing off here. Appreciate you all and cannot wait to start brainstorming and masterminding with you next week. See you soon.